I'm starting the road trip with my Honda XL 750 Transalp in about 2 weeks, and I did some small modifications again to get a little bit better comfort for long distance riding. I already showed you in the last video the upper crash guards here with the SW Motec LED fog lights. These LED headlights are a very good safety feature just in case you are riding in bad weather conditions, fog, rain or snow. Then down here the lower engine crash guards and the engine skid plate. The skid plate of Hepco & Becker is very useful, protects the engine and the exhaust. And the first thing that is new now is this windscreen. It's a tall windscreen by Puig. It's about 10 centimeters higher than the standard one, has a different shape. And I put this wind deflector also from Puig on the top just to control the air that's hitting my helmet a little bit better. The Puig windscreen is not only taller than the standard one, it also has a different shape. It's not as rounded as the standard one, it's more flat. So it pushes the wind a little bit more to the side. It has these small wind deflectors. So you don't need the small wind deflectors that you can get from Honda. And I put the small wind deflector on top that you can change in its position. I will test this combination in a moment when I do the test ride. I also have the tall windscreen of Honda. So I will test this one against this combination here. So I will use the tall windscreen of Honda with the wind deflectors. I think it's about the same height. Of course, I can put this wind deflector here on top too. So for sure, this Puig windshield will give me a better wind protection because I'm quite tall. And the standard windshield, the wind was directly hitting my helmet. But I think this one looks much better, keeps the air a little bit away from my helmet, and of course quieter when I'm talking in the microphone. The next thing that I installed on my Honda Transalp is this small Apple CarPlay unit. It's the Chigee AIO 5. I have the box here. Looks like that. AIO 5 means all-in-one unit 5. This is the version Play. You also can get a version with cameras. Chigee was so kind to send me this unit to test it, and I will use it on my road trip. So I hope this Apple CarPlay unit will make navigation much easier than if I put the smartphone here, because then I don't have to take it off and put it on all the time. Just to give you a few details about this unit, it's a 5-inch screen. Gives you Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can also check your tire pressure and tire temperature with this unit, but it's an extra. You have to get the 2 sensors for it, but I have them, so also a very good feature. So I don't have to put a tire pressure monitor somewhere here because I like it to see my tire pressure on the fly. Another extra is this small remote here. Fits very good here to the control at the handlebars. You can control the unit with these 3 buttons here. Very easy to connect with the AIO 5. I will turn the motorcycle on now just to show you how it looks. So motorcycle, the Honda Transalp is on, and the AIO 5 is starting too. What's interesting, this unit has a GPS already installed here so that you can see your speed, the direction you are going. Here on the right side I can see my tire pressure, 2.3 and 2.8 at the back. These are the small sensors. There's a screw on the back to secure them. Very lightweight, so they are very lightweight. So I think there will be no pressure on the valve here. And they send a signal to the AIO 5 and you see the tire temperature. Very helpful tool. Then of course you can go of course to CarPlay. I think you know it already. You have your settings, telephone, music, Spotify, Google Maps, Kalimoto, everything that you need. If you go on Chigee, then you have your speed. And you can have a few more informations. If you go on this display here, then you have a speedometer here too. Good, engine temperature doesn't work because I'm not connected. Here's connected via USB. You can see the altitude, the riding time, trip meter, and again the tire pressure and tire temperature front and rear. Here on the side you can control the settings. The size is perfect for me. It's a little bit bigger than the original display of the Hondas. So visibility is very good. Then you have some buttons here on the top where you can get back to the main display. Very good feedback here on these buttons. So I like CarPlay on a motorcycle a lot. Makes everything very easy, connects automatically with the smartphone. My smartphone is safe in my bag. Handling, especially with this small remote here, super easy, works perfect, and this is how I connected it. So it's just an USB plug. On the back side, the AIO 5 has some rubber mounted screws, so it's secured to some kinds of vibrations. The Chigee unit is secured by some special screws here on the back, so you cannot detach it with an Allen key or torque driver. It's a special key that you need, which is in the package. I will test it when I'm riding now, so I give you a feedback if everything works fluently. Yeah, I think that's all. Here is an SW Motec tank ring, which is magnetic, so my tank bag will slide on it. I will show you this one in one of the next videos. And last thing that is back on the Honda Transalp is my GV Tracker top case, 58 liters. I have this one for many years now. It's super stable, very rugged. Okay, so let's go for a test ride. Ignition on, temperature 42 degrees in the sun, so quite hot today. So tire temperature 2.4 in the front and 2.8 in the rear. So it works perfect. 35 kilometers, 35, so it's nearly the same. Okay, so let's talk about the Puig windscreen first, the tall windscreen. Even in the lowest position of the wind deflector, I have no wind noise on my helmet. No buffeting. I get some wind here on the outside of my arms and shoulders. This is the same like with the original tall windscreen of Honda. Even with the wind deflectors, it pushes the wind a little bit away from your hips and from the hands, but you get it a little bit still on your arms. But for sure the height for my size is much better. I have to do a comparison with the tall windscreen of Honda in the next days, because the Honda one is more rounded, so I think it will push a little bit more wind to the arms and to the shoulders. This one keeps it a little bit more away, but the height is absolutely perfect. I think I even don't need the wind deflector on top. So the position for the Chigee AIO 5 down here is good for me because it doesn't disturb me in my view. I just have my camera there. Of course I could change it, but I would like it to concentrate on the road, have a good view on the road and not a display in front of me. Of course you get the voice commands on your communication system for navigation, so it's not necessary always to look on the display. I will change the wind deflector to its upper position now. Very easy, you don't need any tools, just like that, and it's up. I'm still looking over the top, but this of course gives me even better wind protection. I also can open the visor and I have no wind on my helmet. So I think this is a good solution for my road trip. I just have the wind on my arms here on the outside. Body is protected very good. And if it's very hot, you even can detach the wind deflector very easy. Just 2 screws and then it's off. So we'll just stop here to show you how the touchscreen works. Very easy even with gloves, and these are not gloves that are made for touchscreens, so standard gloves. And I can also use the remote here. So it switches now here. You can go up, you can go down. I'm on Spotify now, then you can go up again, say OK, navigation. And if you compare the brightness of the display, of course my smartphone is a little bit wider, but the brightness of the AIO 5 is much brighter. Can you see the difference? I hope so. So it's a little bit smaller, but even taller than my display of the Honda Transalp. Of course you can also put your smartphone here, but I cannot control it with my gloves. It's not possible with my smartphone. And there's always the risk that you can damage your smartphone, and it's not waterproof, so all the openings can get some water inside, so you can damage your smartphone if you put it here. Phone is wider, but the brightness much better, and it's waterproof, and I can leave it on the bike. And this one can stay in my jacket. So I will put the wind deflector down again. You see it's just a few seconds. You can adjust it a little bit sideways, and these two screws, just take them off and you can detach it and put it in the top box or whatever. And this is very nice, the buttons on the top. Just push one button, then you change your display. Okay, let's see how the windscreen works when I'm riding a little bit faster. So at about 100, it's nearly the same, even in the down position of the wind deflector. No turbulences on my helmet, so if I turn it to the side, no problems, no wind, no buffeting. So absolutely amazing. So I think this will be the windscreen for my road trip. Okay, so let's do a last walk around. I think the black crash guards compared to the Honda ones in silver look very good on the black bike. Windscreen, there's no big difference compared to the look of the standard one. Just these deflectors are integrated in the windscreen. With the standard one, with the tall one, you have this additional deflectors which do the same. I think they push the wind a little bit away from your hands. But the height is very good for me, and this deflector helps a lot too. One thing that I didn't show you so far is my seat. I think for me the seat is not that super comfortable for long distance rides. I tested it already and it's quite stiff, and I prefer to have it a little bit more soft. So as always, I put my SW Motec air pillow on top. Doesn't look that bad, but gives such a great riding comfort. You can control how much air is inside. I think Rain, my Honda 750 Transalp, will be a good companion for my next road trip. So far no problems. Of course, it's Honda, very reliable. I have 600 kilometers to go for my first service, and after that I'm starting my road trip. So just in case you didn't do it already, please subscribe to the channel if you are interested in my road trip too. Will be a very interesting one. And if you like the video today, please give me a big thumbs up, and if you are riding, ride safe. Enjoy the wonderful weather. I see you in the next one. Take care and cheers.